Hello and welcome to the Tendercoffee with Yaroslava and Top. I hope you take a cup of coffee and sit comfortably to listen to something interesting. Recently, in the last meeting, we talked about public procurement of works and one of the specifics of this procedure. Today, we are talking about public procurement of goods, actually electricity. I guess this practice will be considerable for other procurement, namely the procedure of works and supply. Let me tell about recent Supreme Court practice. This is the case when the bank as a guarantor refused to pay funds to the customer as a beneficiary under the bank guarantee. Why did this happen? Oh, it's adorable history. Okay, let's dive in and start. Are you ready? First, the background. The customer entered into the public procurement contract according to the results of the procurement procedure of electricity. At the same time, the winner, as a principal, entered into the guarantee contract with the bank as a guarantor. The amount of the guarantee was more than 1 million hryvnias. The contract was fulfilled little by little. Nothing seemed to be a problem. However, the supplier found out that the customer consumed more electricity than planned. It's like out of the blue. Why did this happen? As it turned out, the customer had more points of commercial accounting than specified in the contract. After that, the electricity supplier contacted the customer to change the contract. However, the customer refused. Subsequently, the electricity supplier contacted the customer with a proposal to terminate the contract. Then the supplier stopped supplying electricity. The customer received a notification from the Ukrinterenergo as a supplier of last hope about the start of its electricity supply. And here the most interesting part begins. Okay, the customer as the beneficiary turned to the bank. The beneficiary wanted a bank guarantee as security for the contract. The principal informed the guarantor that the contract was terminated early because of the customer's non-fulfillment of the contract. So, the guarantor informed the beneficiary that the principal didn't transfer the amount of cash covered to the bank account. Therefore, the guarantor believed that the bank guarantee wasn't valid. The principal appealed to the court. He did want to recognize the bank guarantee as unenforceable. Courts of first and appellate instances satisfied the claim. Why? Because these two instances decided that the bank guarantee wasn't valid. Do you want to know why? Okay, keep listening. Because the principal didn't transfer the amount of cash covered to bank account. Therefore, the guarantee period hasn't started. However, the Supreme Court didn't agree with it. Do you want to know why? Okay, let me explain to you. The Supreme Court took into account the decision of the Joint Chamber of the Supreme Court. Guys, and now listen carefully. The legal basis for the payment of funds under the guarantee is a duly executed claim of the beneficiary. At the same time, the law doesn't provide a basis for the guarantee to become valid, such as the bank principal's failure to transfer funds. Therefore, are you getting the main point now? That is, if the funds don't cover the guarantee, it's the bank's problem. Okay, let me know in the comment below this video what would you like to consider in the next our meetings. And finally, let me tell you a few tips. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. Working smart but not hard when you are tender, active people. See you soon.